to Me, el programa que está pegado los martes de 7 por radio UNT.net.
It's the Roaring Twenties all over again. Listen to Me, your community and political show starts now. Bueno, Listen to Me, tu show político comunitario comienza ahora en el 2020.
Let's get ready for the Roaring Twenties.
Bueno, mi gente, ¿cómo estamos? It is Listen to Me here. A historic comeback after a couple of weeks that we were off because, you know, the COVID-19, and you could see we're taking all the precautions that necessary so we don't become part of the statistics. But anyway, we had to come back because the primaries, the Republican primaries are around the corner, and I voted already. Yes, and I already did my civic duty, and I voted by mail, and I understand that there's a lot of apprehension of people, but I want to tell you something. Here in Florida, really quick, here in Florida, there is no problem to vote by mail, and I'll tell you why. Because you have to present yourself in person to be able to request your absentee ballot, or you have to do some sort of ID verification if you're going to do it any other way. So Florida has one of the, I would say, one of the most safest ways to be able to vote by mail. But I urge everybody to try and vote by mail. And if you live in my district, vote for Richard. And if you live in where Darren Soto is a congressman, we'll vote for Sergio Ortiz, because those are our guys that we are helping to move forward in the primaries. So vote. Don't do like the Democrats. So they say vote and vote often. No, vote once and make sure that your vote counts. Either go early and vote. And anyway, a lot of people tell me, oh, JJ, the president has said about voting by mail, it's dangerous, isn't it? Well, look, if you have your ballot and you want it, and you have your mail-in ballot, you don't want to put it in the post office because you feel that something's going to happen between your home and the post office and getting to the county's election. Well, do something. Do something very, very simple. Take your mail-in ballot and walk it into the clerk of elections. Once you hand it to that person, nothing in the world will be able to take you out of that. Now, there's a couple of rants and raves that I have. Yo tengo algunas cosas que tengo que decir, pero lo más importante es que nosotros vamos a votar. Y aunque votes por correo o votes en persona o tomes tu papeleta de votar por correo y lo lleves al clerk de elections, ejerce tu voto. Ejerce tu voto. Ahora, we have a lot of things to do today because this is one of the first to second shows that we're going to do prior to the August 18th primaries. Agosto 18, nosotros no vamos a tener show. August 18th, we are not going to have a show. Why? Because I don't believe in the commercialization of the process. And in election day, we won't have a show either. Why? Because the 18th and November are very important dates for us to celebrate something historic. And we're going to move forward with our group of candidates that is going to do battle to the crazy three that I say, or the three stooges, and many other people that we're going to be beating in November. But we're going to get to that in a little while. We have some really good news, y tenemos una persona muy importante, ¿verdad? Sí, que tenemos desde Portugal. Señor Jorge Pereira. Señor Jorge Pereira, mi hermano, ¿cómo tú estás?
Hola, buenas noches. Muy bien. ¿Cómo están ustedes?
Bien, Jorge. Ha sido muy interesante la gesta que nosotros estamos tratando de hacer con ustedes, el Partido Chega y el Hispanic Republican Organization. Mi director ejecutivo tiene en sus manos la carta invitándolo formalmente a ustedes como para convertirse en parte de nuestro brazo internacional del Hispanic Republican Organization. Jorge, ¿cómo eso te hace sentir a ti?
Bueno, a mí y a todos nosotros, a toda mi organización, es un motivo de orgullo poder compartir esos lazos, esos ideales republicanos y conservadores con ustedes y traerlos precisamente acá a Europa, a Portugal más precisamente, como una forma de unión, de equiparar todo aquello que representa el ser conservador, luchar por esos ideales y va al encuentro de aquella máxima que es la unión hace la fuerza.
Eso es así.
Bueno,
Jorge.
muy agradecidos y bueno, esperando para concretizar ese hecho.
Bueno, pues está mi director ejecutivo aquí y mi vicepresidenta, que son las firmas que faltan, y tan pronto tenga las firmas lo vamos a escanear para enviarles el documento para que ustedes hagan la votación en su plenio. Y nosotros históricamente decir que el partido Chega es el brazo oficial de la parte internacional de Hispanic Republican Organization, y ustedes sean la cuenca de distribuir lo que es el pensar conservador. Y tuve también la dicha de hablar otra vez con Andrés Ventura, y él también se ha mostrado muy, muy contento de esta unión. Mi hermano, ¿cómo ustedes en Portugal, entre el plenio de Chega, ustedes han podido hablar de esta posible con los otros miembros? ¿Cuál es el sentir de sus otros miembros?
Bueno, el sentir es un sentir de un orgullo de compartir esos ideales y materializarlos en un acuerdo de cooperación y de unión, pero al mismo tiempo es algo que nos va a permitir crear una alianza, porque como ustedes saben y como casi todo el mundo sabe, todas aquellas personas que comparten los ideales conservadores, estos ideales están en este momento siendo atacados de una forma muy, muy sistemática y muy organizada por organismos, por personas, por instituciones que quieren destruir esos mismos valores. Y todo lo que sea que nos permita crear una alianza para, ¿por qué no decirlo?, para protegernos y para luchar contra esas organizaciones que nos quieren destruir, todo eso es muy, muy bienvenido y claro que sí, lo estamos esperando con un gran entusiasmo y esperamos que se concretice rápidamente.
No, perfecto.
Bueno.
Claro que sí, así será, señor Pereira. De verdad que muy agradecido por todo, y justamente aquí está el documento que va a ser firmado, y bueno, justamente lo vamos a mandar para que sea formal el acuerdo, ¿no? Y bueno, la cooperación que ya hemos hablado, para que ahora con esta formalización podamos seguir y sumar más voluntades y comulgar con el pensamiento conservador como lo hacemos, y queremos que eso arribe tarde o temprano al poder. Justamente la semana pasada, a usted, gracias a usted. Justamente la semana pasada hemos visto noticias que salieron en algunos medios de Portugal. De verdad que un artículo un poco deprimente.
Qué deprimente, mi hermano. Eso es una cicatriz de honor que nos dan a nosotros, muchachos. Nos hablaron de nosotros hasta en Portugal. Sigue. I'm sorry.
Pero
They
eso,
spoke about us even in Portugal.
a pretty bad article about us.
Bad article. Pero Jorge, ese artículo, eso es costumbre de la izquierda atacarnos.
Sí. Esa
¿Verdad
es
que sí?
la nueva visión progresista que quiere destruir los valores de esa manera, de una manera baja, sin ningún grado de seriedad ni de política de altura. Eso es lo más bajo que hay. Eso es lo que ahorita justamente está en el poder, por lo menos en España, en Portugal. Y bueno, coméntenos un poquito, señor Pereira, de justamente de ese chiste que sucedió hace una semana.
¡Eso fue un chiste!
Bueno, lo que pasó es algo que ya se viene verificando hace algún tiempo, que hay un movimiento organizado, principalmente por la prensa izquierdista, organizado y hasta financiado de cierta forma por organismos que les interesa que movimientos conservadores como por ejemplo el partido Chega no crezcan. Y tienen personas ya perfectamente seleccionadas que son aquellos periodistas que tienen como misión intentar siempre colocar artículos que puedan dañar la imagen del partido. Lo hacen de una forma dual porque tienen el cuidado de no hacer acusaciones que puedan o que los pueda llevar a tribunal. Hacen insinuaciones. Por ejemplo, lo que pasó con la invitación que ustedes nos hicieron a la Convención Republicana. Primero decían que a lo mejor Hispanic Republican Organization no existía, pero a lo mejor, pero más adelante dijeron que comunicaron con el Republican National Hispanic Assembly para ver si de verdad la organización existía o no. Primero le dijeron que no existía, pero más adelante vienen a confirmar que sí existía. Bueno, hacen ese juego, y ese es un juego bien pensado, para intentar confundir, para intentar crear dudas sobre todo lo que nos mueve, lo que nosotros queremos hacer, etcétera. Pero les salió mal, porque precisamente al día siguiente salió una encuesta en que coloca al partido Chega como la tercera fuerza política.
Bueno, eso es bueno, yes.
Bien, bravo.
Y Jorge, déjame un momentito porque tengo personas aquí que hablan inglés y yo quiero que oigan esto. Well, you know that we're trying to put international flavor into the Hispanic Republican Organization, and el Partido Chega of Portugal is going to be that branch. Now, they're commenting that they had an article in one of the leftist magazines, an underrated reporter like we have him here, Orlando Sentinel, and said that the Hispanic Republican Organization didn't exist, that was probably made up of all Puerto Ricans, and probably I was the only member.
Yeah. No, and Hispanic Republican Organization is not Republican Party. It's like, come on.
It's not part of the Republican Party. Like, what? Huh? Yeah. What? They call upon the Republican National Hispanic Assembly, who has nothing to do with Hispanic Republican Organization. They don't call the president of the Republican National Hispanic Assembly. They call the guy number 6, the only guy that would respond to the reporter's email. Because I know Betty Cardenas, which is the national chairwoman of the Hispanic Republican National Assembly, she wouldn't lend herself for that. Period. So they asked somebody who has to do with congressional liaisons. First of all, he doesn't know what the hell is going on with Puerto Rico. Yeah. Puerto Rico has a non-voting delegate in Congress. So first of all, he wouldn't have any relationship with Jennifer Gonzalez. So basically, that's the futility of it. Jorge, pero entendemos que eso es bueno y me alegra, and they did like a survey, and within Portugal you have to understand that their system is a little bit in the socialist side. The Chega party now came in third. So now they're climbing. They're climbing within the conscience of the people in Portugal. Y eso es lo que queremos hacer, integrarle a través de estos programas de radio y televisión que tenemos mezclados, que la gente en Portugal puede verlo cuando le dé la gana, como le dé la gana, y entiendan que en Portugal, aunque yo no falo muito portugués, más porto-español, but anyway, los queremos muchísimo y sabemos que ustedes van a cambiar ese movimiento ese movimiento Chega va a hacer que Portugal brille y va a ser como dice el presidente Trump, se van a hartar de estar ganando tanto, ¿verdad, Jorge?
Sí, sin duda.
Bueno, señor Pereira, de verdad, muchísimas gracias por su tiempo y nos mantenemos en contacto, ¿ok?
Sí, Jorge, ya tú sabes que una vez que ustedes ratifiquen esta unión, tú vas a tener que tener un espacito aquí en Listen to Me para darnos noticias de lo que está pasando en Portugal. ¿Sabes eso, verdad?
Con todo gusto y con todo placer.
Muchas gracias, mi hermano.
Seguro, señor Pereira. Dios que esté muy bien.
Pues desde un abrazo, desde fraternal, desde aquí de Orlando, Florida, te esperamos con brazos abiertos que Chega se convierta en un brazo de Hispanic Republican Organization. Saluditos a
Muchas
todos,
gracias.
al
André,
señor
a todos,
Venturo,
seguro.
André y a todo el mundo. Mucho amor y respeto desde Florida hasta Portugal.
Bye, bye, señor.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
bye,
you
bye,
very
señor
much.
André. Bye, bye.
All right. So we had very good news that we're going to open up, be international. We're going to open up a branch through the Chega Party in Portugal. And not only Portugal, we have possibilities of expanding towards the Dominican Republic, towards Italy, towards Venezuela. And the reason that the Hispanic Republican organization is doing this is that it is time that the party of Lincoln and all its benefits, the conservative movement of the Republican Party, be exported to the world. We want to be, we let's put it this way. We're going to start a multi-level marketing of republicanism. How do you think of that? You don't have to invest nothing. You just have to love our conservative values, and we'll export it to every corner of the world.
Start bringing capitalism all over the place. Let's start setting up stock exchanges. It's not very hard. One good stock exchange to replicate is the Hong Kong exchange, which seems to operate very well. Just take their policies and procedures, implement it in your country, and now you have freedom. Now you have capitalism. Now you're creating wealth for the multitudes. And that's what capitalism's all about. Socialism's about consolidating all the wealth and essentially enslaving the people to a few families. Capitalism's about everybody has a chance to succeed. And those people that have a chance to succeed rises a tide for all ships. So I highly recommend Portugal and all the Latin American countries. Look at the stock exchanges, and I would replicate Hong Kong prior to the Chinese takeover 3 weeks ago, and look at their policies and procedures. Not hard at all. And I'm available to help you any step of the way to help
Thank
you
you.
create capitalism within your country. It is not hard, it is real, and it does create wealth, and it lets people that want to work hard, that want to succeed, and want to create a product or service that your country needs to have the capital, it's not a loan, to have the capital to make it succeed. And that's what built the United States. It made the greatest economy in history, and I want to bring it to everybody who wants to learn about it.
And that was Richard Goebel. He's going to be the next congressman for the great state of Florida. And you know what? We're going to tell Stephanie Murphy a very simple word. You're fired. And Richard, why is it so important to be able to start establishing diplomatic relationships with countries like Portugal, with the European Union? Isn't that part of the American experience of capitalism, to be able to form commerce and in between different countries?
Well, absolutely. What you're doing is you're creating a life for people in other countries. And you want to do that instead of them focusing on maybe illegal drugs or stuff, goods and services people don't need. Have them compete for an automobile. I mean, there's absolutely no reason that Brazil cannot have a fantastic auto industry. All they need is a stock exchange to raise the capital, and now they're building cars and they're competing and making everything better, because now United States and Japan and Germany now have to make better cars. So you don't have to go in that dealership and pay $6,000 just to replace a few belts and a few hoses. Now you have competition out there. And the same thing for social media. I mean, there's absolutely no reason that Latin America shouldn't be leading in social media. All they need is capital, and they can build the capital just from their own people. You don't need a lot of wealth to start the wealth growth. You don't need a lot of wealth to start capital formation. You just need to start it. And I could help you with that. I could show you how to do it, and that will change your life. It'll change the life of your country. So no, you're not looking to just a handout from your government. You're free now.
Yeah,
you
no.
can choose your boss. You can choose your company. And if you're so inclined, you can create wealth for yourself. And you're not beholden to a few politicians, which is kind of what we have right here in the United States. There's a few politicians named Stephanie Murphy that want to control your job.
Boo!
That want to control your benefits, that want to control everything about you, because that gives her more power. She wants to decide who's your boss going to be or who your company is going to be. Not going to happen with me. Central Florida is going to take the freedom back. And you know what's really a problem here in Central Florida? Is my opponent, Stephanie Murphy, is represented by some of the biggest banks and biggest corporations in the world. And she's also represented by foreign countries. So when she's voting in Congress, She doesn't care about these people here in Central Florida. It's just one more vote for the big banks and foreign countries when you vote for her. But when you vote for me, I live here. I raised my family here. I sent my daughters to college right here locally, and also for school I paid for. You're not going to get that if you vote for someone else. You're going to get that with me. I'm always going to put Central Florida first. Central Florida must come first. The Hispanic community must come first. We have a great Hispanic community here. Look, if you want to vote for Stephanie Murphy just because maybe you side with her politics in the past, it's changed. Now she's supporting anarchy. Her and her party are actually working to overthrow the United States Constitution.
Yes, that is true.
The freest country in the world, the most least racist country in the world, the most capitalistic country.
She wants to change the national anthem. She wants to erase history. Her, Stephanie Murphy, Val Demings, Darren Soto, they're the ones that want to try and rewrite history. And Richard, we can't have that.
We can't have it. Look, many of you and my great-great-grandparents came to the United States because it was the most freest country in the world. Do you really want us not to be? Because Stephanie Murphy wants to incorporate the government that you left? All right, do you really want the government that you left, or do you want to integrate with capitalism and the U.S. Constitution and the freedom? That's what's on the line here. Do you want to go back to what you left, or do you want to go forward with me? And that's what I'm going to bring to you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the Puerto Rican debt.
Thank you.
All right? I just talked to my political advisor before the radio show. First thing I'm going to do day one is we're going to introduce a bill to eliminate the debt. Look, we can bail out the entire country. We can bail out Goldman Sachs. We can bail out Puerto Rico, right?
Good.
Right? Why do we enslave Puerto Rico with a debt?
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
And then,
how wrong is that?
And then the Democrats slap us by saying, "Hey, do you know? This is like flash. Paren las prensas, cierren la puerta. This is flash." You know that Joe Biden and the platform of the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, they are going to support a Washington, D.C. statehood over Puerto Rico. So I say this to all the Puerto Rican Democrats, how does that slap feel in your face? Vote if you live in the district, whether it's in Sergio Ortiz's district or Richard Grobel's district. Find out where you live. Find out who's your congressman. And if it's Stephanie Murphy, vote for Richard Grobel. But if you live in Darren Soto's district, vote for Sergio Ortiz, because those are the men that is not only going to help Donald Trump give you a really true Affordable Health Care Act, they're going to bring the prices of prescription drugs down. They're going to help create financial independence. And Richard, wouldn't people in the district where Stephanie Murphy lives would like to keep on winning like Donald Trump said till it hurts? winning. You know what? We're one of the only cities that has a federal highway that goes through our downtown that is set up to start charging tolls. And you know why, right? It's because we're not getting representation. We have a congresswoman who's represented the big banks, and we have a congresswoman who's represented foreign countries. And so when she votes, she doesn't think about us paying tolls. She doesn't think about us sitting in traffic on Sunrail. She doesn't think about the fact that capitalism has to be there in order to fund all the benefits that everybody's receiving, including Medicaid, Medicare, disability. You want that to continue, don't you? All right, well, if you eliminate capitalism, it's going to end up like Venezuela. We need the capitalism to fund our benefits. And so therefore, you need to vote for me. This is essentially, do you want a constitution of freedom, or do you want to slip back into where 2,000 families control 350 million great people here in the United States? That's what's on the line here. And it doesn't matter my skin color, it doesn't matter my gender. What matters is, do I represent you? And I do. Porque lo que pasa aquí es muy importante. Tenemos que ser francos y sinceros con nosotros mismos. Richard Grobel va a tratar de trabajar para nosotros, para poder ser más felices en nuestro trabajo, en nuestras casas, donde vivimos, con seguridad, no con miedo de que gente pueda romper en tu casa, que no podamos tener un 911. Richard Grobel nunca va a hacer nada en contra de los policías. He's never going to try to defund the police. He wants to try and make you happier, wealthier, more positive to win the Donald Trump idea. People criticize. La gente quiere criticar eso de Donald Trump, pero es que hemos estado bien. Antes de la pandemia estábamos bien. ¿Qué ha hecho Stephanie Murphy para ustedes ahora mismo? Mira, voten por este hombre. No sean tan estúpidos. Don't be a zombie voter. No. Look at what you have, and look at what you could have. It's right here.
Right. So recently, a few months ago, it was presented that we should have a San Juan stock exchange.
Good.
You know what the oligarchs said? Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, don't you dare have capital formation in San Juan. Don't you dare create wealth for those in San Juan. Don't you dare create independence and freedom for those in San Juan. We're not going to have a stock exchange. We're going to go to L.A. first. L.A. We're going to go to L.A. first. We're not going to go to L.A. They are not going to L.A. So I'm going to recommend one of my first proposals, we've talked about it with my political advisor, is we're going to have a bill where the SEC must immediately allow a group of businessmen to start a San Juan stock exchange. So San Juan, Puerto Rico could start to be a independent island where they're not looking for handouts, they're not looking for help, they're providing help to other countries. They're providing help to those that need it because they're creating wealth for themselves. Which side of the aisle do you want to be on? I'm offering you the chance to be the one that can provide help. And that's available to you. Every God-given human being has the DNA to participate in capitalism and to create wealth for themselves. And I want to show you how to do that through the United States House of Representatives.
Amen. So you see it right here. I have here Mr. Richard Grobel. He's going to say, fire you to Miss Stephanie Murphy. And I have over here, look at what I have over here in red. I have Sergio Ortiz, who's going to say, Darren Soto, fire him. So these are the two gentlemen that I think have the potential to be able to change the face of the United States Congress and the state of representatives. And you know what? We're going to tell Nancy Pelosi, you're fired. Porque esa mujer no sirve. Esa vieja está loca. That lady is crazy. And you're going to tell me, oh, JJ has lost it. No. You're seeing passion.
All right. Why do we want to get rid of Nancy Pelosi? Why do we want to vote out Stephanie Murphy? Because they don't represent the U.S. Constitution and freedom anymore. They represent anarchy. Now, it's Donald Trump's fault. Yes. Donald Trump moved so far to the center that in order to have a competing party, the only thing it can think to compete against is to overthrow the U.S. Constitution. All right? We now have the health care. We now have pre-existing conditions. If you don't make enough money, your health care is provided. If you don't make enough money, your money's provided for you. When you retire at 65, health care is provided for you, plus you get benefits. So what else can the Democratic Party run on? Because essentially capitalism has provided all the benefits that everybody's been asking for, and even more. So what is there to run on? Well, they've chosen to destroy property and overthrow the U.S. Constitution. So now the choice is do we continue with Donald Trump and Richard Grobel for Congress?
Yes.
Or do we overthrow the Constitution and just destroy everything and just watch everything decline?
No.
Look, the media doesn't care. They don't care about you. Look, the media is controlled by a few families. So that's why they're always parodying the same thing.
They're like these corporate banks too. They're acting like these corporate banks. Don't you believe? Like Goldman Sachs. Oh, well, please don't hurt me. I had the lawsuit with the kid that was with the Indian. What was it? Washington Post.
Highest paid employee at CNN.
Yeah, Washington Post. But anyway, Richard, hold on.
Washington Post.
Hold on a second. I got Sergio aquí y exploto si no dejo que él hable. Dale, mi hermano. ¿Cómo tú estás?
Buenos días, mi gente, gracias por estar aquí con nosotros en este momento. Es un honor y un placer y un orgullo estar aquí presente con ustedes, celebrando y hablando acerca de nuestros propósitos para este nuevo congreso que viene. Tenemos aquí al señor que es tremenda persona, que va a ayudar magníficamente para que nosotros movamos la agenda positiva y republicana que nos lleva a grandes cosas. Él no solamente está haciéndolo porque no tiene nada que hacer, sino tiene un plan y un motivo fuerte y dinámico. De igual manera, Nosotros estamos aquí para ayudarnos a todos, para que toda persona que esté creciendo, esté buscando, que florezca, que eche para adelante, que tenga una vida dinámica, que se pueda salir y buscar su trabajo y emplear a su familia para que echen adelante, para que todo lo que Dios le ha dado lo siga magnificando y floreciendo, para que nosotros tengamos una mejor vida. No es para estar en las casas escondidos con miedo, escondidos por un enemigo que ni se ve. ¿Cómo nosotros vamos a estar haciendo eso? Y buscando para que nuestras familias echen para adelante. No, señor, no es así. Nosotros tenemos que echar para adelante. Buscar personas que te van a representar honestamente y hacerlo de una manera que atrapamos gente de tu poder para poder guiar esta nación adelante, que nosotros caminemos en paz y armonía, que las cosas que hacemos es para nuestra familia y el futuro de esta gente, no para estar viviendo del gobierno, sino que nosotros seamos portados. Kennedy dijo, no pidas que el gobierno te mantenga el gobierno, haz lo que mejor que tú puedas para el gobierno. Y nosotros los latinos somos así, somos personas que trabajamos, que empezamos empleos. Mira, desde que empezó el presidente, más de 20% de los latinos han abierto sus propias compañías, han buscado para el porvenir de su familia. Si no fuera porque esta porquería del virus, imagínate la cantidad de trabajo que tuvieran afuera.
Record, we would have record. Sergio, now for Richard's perspective, we do have to try and not only get Nancy Pelosi fired, but
Not
you
try,
guys
do.
Well, yeah. In November, we're gonna switch. Congress is gonna be both chambers are gonna be Republican, and you guys are going to Congress. But you need to be the checks and balances to the Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, to the Omar Elian. So basically, Richard, once you get to Congress, what are you going to do to shut up those radical lefts in Congress if they're still there? And then the question will go to you, Sergio. What would you do?
Well, I think we need to talk about ideas. I'm all for free speech. Anytime AOC or any of the other squads speak, that's perfectly fine. I want them to speak. I want them to tell the people what they're really thinking. And then we're going to address to the people what they're thinking, and then we're going to vote on it, and we're going to do the opposite of what they're thinking, because I want to tell you what, the squad wants to overthrow the United States Constitution. They want to take your freedoms away, and they want it to replicate. Some of them came from different countries or that were very communist or even worse than communism, and they want to replicate that here in the United States. All we got to do is explain it. Do you want to lose your freedoms through the squad? Or do you want to keep your freedoms? And not only are we going to keep your freedoms, we're going to create wealth for everyone in our district and everyone in the country. We have to stick together, stick to the Constitution, and stick to our freedoms. And so let them talk. Let them speak. Because every time they talk, they explain their views, and their views are wrong. And that's what the people will see. The people are smart. You're smart. They think you're not smart, so they need the media to cover up for them. They think you're not smart, so they want to take your right to bear arms. They think, oh my goodness, don't you dare, think about not keeping your unborn family member. Do you know I'm the only candidate in this race that has been endorsed by the Florida Right to Life? I'm the only candidate. Even the Republican candidates didn't receive the endorsement. I'm the only I'm the only person to be endorsed by the Florida Right to Life. Let me talk about that a minute. My opponent, Stephanie Murphy, is even further from that. She would allow an 8-month baby to be aborted and die right there on the table next to the mother. To her, that's perfectly fine. She was asked that in Congress, and she said, that's okay with me. That's okay with me. Now, do you want to vote for somebody that would dehumanize you to a point where they encourage you to kill your own unborn family member? You're not good enough to have your own born. Oh, don't have it. It's too much money because you know what? You can't afford it. So go ahead and kill your own born family member, regardless if it's even born. According to Stephanie Murphy, if it just comes out of the womb, let's kill it.
Wow.
All right? That's the same mentality. Do you want to vote somebody that would dehumanize you to the point that won't even let you protect yourself with the Second Amendment and won't even let you speak your mind with the First Amendment? All right? Is that somebody we want in office? All right? That's the party she represents, and that's what we need to defeat here, and we need to defend our freedom and defeat her in this district. Because I want to tell you what, this is a district that Nancy Pelosi has labeled as safe. Then she labeled it again as probable. And now it's coming back to maybe toss-up. All right? Now we're looking at our polls of probable Republican, Richard Goebel.
Yep.
Richard Goebel, probable Republican. Why is that? Because I'm bringing the message to you when I'm not censored, and I've already been censored. All right? I've had people complain about my or my commercial signs.
Yep, the commercial signs. That's true.
We have 80 commercial signs up in the district. I want to tell you something. The reason we were able to get those up early is because private owners gave us permission. When you get the private owners and permission in certain counties and certain municipalities, you can put up a large commercial sign. Stephanie Murphy's not getting permission, and so all she's doing is complaining about my right to free speech. All right, why is she complaining about my right to free speech instead of the policies? Because she wants to take your right to defend yourself. She wants to encourage you to kill your unborn family member. She wants to tell you you're not smart enough and you're not good enough to create wealth for yourself. All right, you're not smart enough and good enough to keep your freedoms. I'm doing the opposite for you. I'm telling you, you're not only smart enough and good enough, you will keep your freedoms. You will be allowed to encourage to expand your family. And you will have the right to bear arms, and you will have free speech. All right, I want you to speak your mind. I want to hear what you have to say. And I want to encourage you that capitalism is the best way to go. Without capitalism, and we go to Stephanie Murphy's plan and Nancy Pelosi's plan, we're back to a horrible economy, and we just don't want that. I am the best candidate to bring us out of the pandemic. I'm the best candidate to make sure that Central Florida people will come first. Not my opponents, and definitely not Stephanie Murphy. And so elect me, and I will always be thinking not only of everybody in my district, but I'll be thinking of Puerto Rico, and we will get Puerto Rico free again. They will not be a bond servant to Wall Street.
Good.
No, that's over with me. You just have to elect me and get me in there and get me working on it.
Cool. And Sergio, now that you've heard Richard, you think that Darren's right there. What would you like to say to him?
Well, Darren, I'm sorry, but your time is up. Start packing your bags, and thank you for keeping my seat warm, because I'm coming to Washington.
Yes.
Because you have done nothing for this community.
That is true.
There has nothing been done that you can recognize that you said. You give pretty speech, people say you polish, but polishing a shoe, I polish my shoe, and I use it to step on roaches. So the same way, polishing is not going to get you anywhere. What you do for your community, that you say that you're there to represent, you are misrepresenting your community. You have done a thing that we can think of that it's been positive. Right now, where are you? Coronavirus, your people need you. People here in this state, in this county, in District 9, they need you. Where are you? I'm out there getting food for the people so they can have something to eat. I'm out there organizing food drives so that when people are hungry, they know where to find food. And I'm helping them, giving them hope, giving them understanding, teaching them that there's always hope, that this too will pass, so that they know that they have somebody they can count on no matter what, because trouble may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning, and I'm there to bring that joy that God gives me so I can give it to you, so I can help the people move forward. So, Señor Soto, you're fired. Lo siento en el alma, but you're not going anywhere anymore. Start packing your bag, because the Ortiz train is coming, and it's going to go right through you like you have no idea. And just so people will understand, Trump is going to win again. And I'm going to there to help him with his policies. And I'm going to go there to help him to bring help to us here in District 9 and in Puerto Rico, that we need help. We need to change the atmosphere in Puerto Rico, the mindset that they have, that atmosphere they have to change. They're going to change, and they will change, and we're going to bring that change, the change that people can understand and have an understanding, knowing that they could do better. They could do better than this. Find somebody, and I'm going to be there in Congress to help you, to help your family, so that when you get up in the morning and you want to open up a business, there's opportunity. That when your family wants to go to school, there's opportunities. You know, not everybody has to go to college. And if you want to go to trade school, go to trade school. I know my son, my youngest one, just graduated high school, making $80,000 a year. Okay, $80,000 a year, and he never went to college. And there's people out there in college making $30,000 with a master's degree and whatever, and they don't make it. So we have to have a different opportunity, and it starts with school. We have to change that. We have to revamp the school system. We have to take care of it, change it, reorganize it, change the books, because the books are killing our youth. They're teaching them wrong. They're teaching socialism, they're teaching Marxism, and they're teaching that globalism is the answer, and it's not. Capitalism, full capitalism, is the only way that we can move forward, because I know what to do with my money, you know what to do with your money, and when the government tells you what to do with your money, that's called capitalism. And a lot of people moving out of Venezuela because that's what the government does. And a lot of people escape Cuba because that's what the government does. And the first thing that Maduro said, no, it wasn't Maduro. What's the other guy?
Maduro.
Chavez.
Yeah.
The first thing that Chavez says, I'm going to give you free education. I'm going to give you places to live. I'm going to give you everything you need to survive. Guess what? Where's Venezuela now?
They're broke.
They're broke because you cannot do those systems. Socialism never worked. There has not been one place where socialism has worked. So those kids now that are trying to get everything for free, wake up. Tomorrow when you wake up and you find out that the world is different, that capitalism is the only way that you're going to get ahead, you're up for a rude awakening, because if you don't wake up now, you know the guy that you are making fun of in McDonald's because he's serving you fries? Mm-hmm. Well, that guy's going to be the owner of McDonald's, and that guy's going to hire you to do the job that you said you were not capable of doing. So wake up, get a good education, and learn to survive, because if you don't, the person that you think is serving you fries and you're making fun of him, he's going to be your boss. And then what? Then you wasted a couple years of your life trying to catch up. And I always believe in second chances, but wake up. Wake up, America. The train is coming, and if you're not on it, you're going to be left behind.
All right. So, Richard, I started with you. Now I'm gonna go again to Sergio. Sergio, Nadler said in some interviews that the mob and the riots, what's going on with these mobs and these riots is a myth. Do you believe that Representative Nadler is correct in not addressing the problem as its true nature? Yes or no? Yeah.
Of course not. Okay. I mean, 30
He's
years.
lying, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's lying. Why is he lying?
Exactly.
Why is he lying? We have to look at that. I think if you look at why he's lying, you'll realize how evil the other party has become.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. 30 years ago, where you didn't have cameras, video phones, where everybody tapes everything, right now I can see what's going on in Africa. Yeah. Instantaneously. So if I'm seeing somebody burning down police officers' cars, burning police stations, burning buildings, burning everything, that's not they're not having a camp out. Mm-hmm. The urban outdoorsmen are not having a camp out. They're destroying private property. So the myth that he is trying to convey, he's believing his own juice.
Okay.
He's drinking it.
What are your sites for people to get involved with your campaign, real quickly?
My internet, my webpage is ortizforcongress.com, ORTICFOR Congress.com, and Sergio Ortiz for Congress is the Facebook. Go in there, become part of it. This is the time and the moment. You don't want to go down in history and say, man, I had the opportunity to be there when Sergio and Mr. Gobo were getting ahead, when they were coming out, surging forward and moving this country, and I could have helped them, but I didn't do a thing. And worse still, it is worse if you don't do a thing, and then we fail to do it now, and we have to wait 2 more years. And it's like, oh my God, I could have helped them. And then you feel bad. Listen, people, you're either in the right track or you're in the wrong track, but get on the right track, and that's what you have right here.
Richard, you just said that Mr. Nadler is lying. Why would he lie? And do you think that the American voter is that naive and stupid that they're not seeing, especially what Trump calls the Reagan silent majority? Do you think that silent majority is eating up what Nadler is talking about?
No, he knows that they know he is lying. He's appealing to the Democratic base that are afraid to break away. He's trying to give them an alternative discussion basically on something that's inexcusable. And so the only thing that he can provide to his core base, the anti-constitutionalists, is to say it's just not true. I mean, and so that's the politics behind it. But in reality, these are liberal cities that try to implement socialism, that now think it's okay for vandals, which are funded by the other party. If you go to donate to some of the protesters' websites, it goes to the Democratic Party.
Yes.
So it's a front for the Democratic Party.
Did you know? Oh, before I want you to give you an opportunity. What are your websites so people could get involved?
Okay. Well, it's globalforcongress.com. That's GOBLE. That's GOBLEFOR Congress.com. We are in need of volunteers, and these are paid. Some of these are paid positions. We are in need of volunteers. We're going to blanket our district with volunteers, and so anybody that would like to volunteer, please go to globalforcongress.com. That's GOBLEFOR Congress.com, or you can call us at 407-339-0002. It's 407-339-0002. You want to make a difference in this community. You want to keep this community free, and you want to elect somebody that you could talk to at any time and discuss any bill at any time. Come out and volunteer and help us win. We could use your help, and we'd love to have you come out and help us win this district, because we're going to do it together.
Okay. Now, this is a question, an open question, and again, I just want a feel, because we feel that you are, como dicen en español, ustedes son nuestro gallito. You are the people that I think can move our agenda forward and move your districts forward. But again, we need to win the House of Representatives to be able to help Donald Trump. Do you feel that, and it's open to any of you if you want to speak first, do you feel that after the elections, when you guys get elected to Congress, the left is going to lose it? Do you feel that we may be in the brink of a civil war?
Yes. So what they're going to do is they're going to come up with excuses of why voters didn't vote for their crazy policies. And just like with Hillary Clinton, she's going to say, well, no, Donald Trump cheated. The people really don't want that. Or the people that voted were stupid. She literally said that. They're just not smart enough. So their only reaction is to throw a fit. But I want to tell you something. Donald Trump's going to crush it. All right. Our local county, Seminole County, the great sheriff there will crush it. Orange County, I pray that you guys elect the right person. They will crush the anarchy, because they're there to protect us. They're there to protect our U.S. Constitution and our freedom. And anybody who wants to come in and burn down our business or destroy our property or take away our freedoms need to be crushed and put down immediately. And Donald Trump and me in Congress, Mr. Soto, we will crush it. There's just no excuse for it. We're not going to make excuses. We're not going to say it's just a friendly riot with a little bit of...
I'm being malign. You just call me Soto. What's wrong with you?
He's Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Yeah, Soto's the guy that we got to fire. But it's okay. It's okay. But Richard, that's true. How about you, Mr. Ortiz?
Oh, there's going to be blood in the streets. The people have no idea what they're going to do, because they already know. They have an inkling that Trump is going to win again. The tea leaves are telling them Trump is going to win no matter what you do. You have a highly flawed candidate that will not even go to a debate with the president, not even in a room separated by 10 feet or a 10-foot pole. And you're going to take that to Washington? Forget it. Your party is going to be decimated. You are not going to know who the Democrat Party is in 3 years, 5 years from now, because the people are awakening. And yes, they're going to go out there and riot, and they're going to have the biggest temper tantrum that you're going to have from people, that they will go out there and try to burn the places. And the policemen, they better be ready, because it is not right to allow people to destroy other people's property just because you're throwing a temper tantrum. And that shows the maturity of the people who are out there when Obama won, I took it in the chin and I said, fine, he won. Let's move on. When Trump won, people they went crazy. Why did they go crazy? I mean, he's the president, and okay, so you don't like him? Big deal. Grow up here. Do something. You know, why do you want to have and destroy other people's property? That's not right. You should get arrested and you should pay for that. In the Bible, you had to pay 7 times what you broke. Yep. So now that you're breaking other people's property, and the problem is that there is no aftermath. You know, they broke it. Let's go try to fix it. Oh, Trump, by the way, I need a couple $1 million because they destroyed my city.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you know, they want to. They say, oh yeah, I don't want you. By the way, they just totaled my city. Can you bail me out again?
Can you just pop me a bill?
And well, they were in debt before it even started. I think they were using the riots to cover the thing. Look, Mr. Ortez, you need to flip your district.
No, it's flipped.
You need to flip it because when I came to Orlando, it was conservative. It was a conservative city. Yes. We had a Republican mayor at the time. The people of Orlando are great people.
Yeah.
And they don't need to be dehumanized by an anti-constitutional representative.
That's right.
Exactly.
And you're the constitutional representative that believes in human beings, believes in helping human beings that can't make it, and believes in human beings that have the right for free speech and freedom to protect themselves.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what your home language is. It doesn't matter if you've, it's comfort to fall in and say, look, they'll pay me money and so I'll give up my voting rights and I'll give up my freedom. You don't want that. You're going to not only let them keep their voting rights, but you're also going to help their standard of living.
Exactly.
And that's the whole package. You're not going to make false promises of things that they'll never receive. You're going to make promises of wealth through capitalism and hard work.
Yes.
And that's why your district needs to come aboard, and I pray that it does.
Yep.
Oh, it'll happen. I mean, is it going to be easy? No, but we can flip the district.
Yeah.
That district is already flipped. They just don't know it.
Yeah, because the thing of it, the strategy is the people think that the Democrats think that we don't have a strategy. We do have a strategy. The strategy is to educate every voter. After the primaries, now we're educating Republican voters, but now after the primary, we're going to start educating every voter. And when these two are off to the gates, and educating, we're gonna form brigades where we're going to go from neighborhood to neighborhood. So Richard, that's something. When after the primary, when you got
the brigades. It's a big district, JJ. Be careful what you're wishing for.
Don't worry. Hey, if we
mine
get
is 2,600 square miles.
Wait.
Oh wow.
Well, look at this, Richard.
Wow.
If we get 50 people, 50 people, and we walk neighborhoods, you know how many neighborhoods we could cover? We could cover your whole district.
Yeah.
We could cover your whole
All right,
district.
I'm in for it. Volunteer for us. Let's do it.
If we get only 25 people in your district, we could go from neighborhood to neighborhood, and we could cover it in 2 days. Your district, we could probably cover it in 5.
5 days.
5 days.
Let's do it.
Blanket it.
Let's blanket it. Let's blanket it.
I mean, every home, every apartment, every trailer, everything in between. I don't even know the convenience stores, but hey, we'll even wave flags in front of the convenience stores. No problem. But that's our strategy.
Yes.
We're going to bring hope, we're going to bring freedom, and we're going to bring change.
Listen, my motto, faith, family, and freedom.
That's right.
That's all we need.
That's right.
Nosotros los latinos tenemos que dejar de ser zombies. We have to quit being zombie voters. Miren los dos individuos que tenemos aquí. Look at the two gentlemen that we have. When they call them gentlemen of Florida, please stand up to do your celebration as a freshman congressman. You know what? My heart's gonna be like the father with the prom girl. These guys are gonna be like, yes. And just to see Darren, so I'll be there in Washington D.C. with boxes so Darren Stilton can move here. Hi, and with my T-shirt.
Two men in a truck with his T-shirt.
Yeah. Two men in a truck with my T-shirt. Yep. And Stephanie Murphy, I'll have a couple of frozen Mai Tais or whatever she drinks because I know she drinks, and we'll just have them right there next to her door and like, hi, bye, see ya. By the way, the name's gonna change. So anyway, the thing of it is that the Democrats are acting like jerks, and you need to think. Ustedes tienen que dejar de ponerse el sello, y estos puertorriqueños y puertorriqueñas que están votando por primera vez, ustedes tienen que ver lo que ellos tienen para ofrecer. Because you already know, tú sabes ya lo que te han dado Stephanie Murphy, lo que te ha dado Darren Soto. Mira, no es esto, es 0. Y es 3 ceros a la izquierda.
Yep.
So,
not only that, these people come from Puerto Rico. And they know what the government has done over there for them. They haven't done a thing for them either. They come here. You have at least a chance to get representatives that will do something for you.
You're voting for the first time for your congressmen and your senators and your legislative. Think about it. You know, and I'm sorry, just to jump up, J Rodríguez no representa a los hispanos. None of the commissioners that are Democrats represent your values, Puerto Rican, and that you're listening to me.
No.
They don't.
No.
Jerry Demings doesn't represent. Look at all the paperwork you got to file in 3 days. File for $1,200 for rent assistance.
Yep.
This is a fallacy.
Yep.
It is enough. We have to vote Richard. We have to vote Sergio into Congress.
So you won't have a need to go get rent assistance. You're going to make the money to pay that and buy your own house.
That's right. And you'll have self-respect and a job and freedom. And that's what we're all about.
En un minuto, mi hermano. En inglés, en español, please. Tell me what closing remarks, please.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me at your house. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be with you. Ortiz for Congress. I need your help, same as the gentleman next to me. We need your help because if you never have taken a position with the government and politics, now is the time. This is the moment for you to rise up like a phoenix and take possession of your territory, take possession of your district and your house and everything that you have that God has given you. Now is the time for you to preserve it and fight for it. Join us. Become part of our army so that one day you can say, I was there when this nation changed. I was there when everything in this country became and what it is now, and it becomes forward movement and dynamically effective. My name is Sergio A. Ortiz. I'm running for United States Congress. I expect your vote, and I surely expect you to help me out. Thank you.
And we're going to be telling Darren Soto, you're fired. All right.
Fired.
And Richard, you, my friend, 1 minute, please.
My father fought in the Vietnam War. He was a gunship helicopter commander with a crew of about 20. He was fighting to defeat communism in Vietnam. Because with socialism and communism, you lose your freedom. That same life that he risked for himself and for his crew to protect Vietnam from communism and socialism is the same fight I'm going to bring to this Congress with this campaign. You vote for me, we will defeat the socialists and the dehumanizing communists, and we will vote for freedom. We will free Puerto Rico from the bondservant that they are, and we'll let Puerto Rico make their self-determination without debt. Vote for me, put me in office, and I am for the people of this district, and I will represent you forever when I'm in Congress.
Thank you. Bueno, mi gente, the rioters are attacking government. Los que están demostrando están atacando el gobierno. Los demócratas pintan que los que están haciendo las demostraciones lo están haciendo pacíficamente. The Attorney General Barr says that the peaceful demonstrations are being hijacked by angry mobs. Que estas demostraciones está pasando como está pasando en Puerto Rico, que las demostraciones pacíficas se están convirtiendo violentos porque hay elementos criminales que se están metiendo. So we got to work on that. No, and there's no actions from the three Democrats, the three stooges. Val Demings made a fool of herself today, trying to corner Attorney Barr. That was stupid. She has no idea what she's doing, but she knows she's not going to be vice president, so she had a little pouty face. Oh well, I'm going to stay as I have a shoe-in. No, you don't. Mm-hmm. No, you don't, because there are two Republicans one of them is going to come out of the primaries, and we're going to have our trio of Republicans that are going to go after Darren Soto, Stephanie Murphy, and Val Demings.
Yes.
So we're going to do that.
Let's flip Central Florida. Yes.
Democrats are acting like jerks. They want to preach. They're telling you, we know what's best for you. You vote for us or else. No. The silent majority is going to explode. And it's going to explode in such a fashion that we haven't seen it since the 1980s of the Reagan era. And we're going to see an election that is going to be historic. And it's going to be a crush. And it's going to be such a crush that it will not only affect the Democratic Party in 2020, it will affect the Democratic Party in 2024. When we are going to do a 4-year and another 4-year of Republican control, because we are not going to let them get into power. Period. We will not let America become a socialist state. Well, anyway, Biden says something, and I'm sorry that I'm taking a little bit of time. He says that he has 13,000 different types of things to fix the economy, fix the infrastructure. My only question is, in 48 years of public service, what he has done for you. In all this time that Stephanie Murphy, Darren Soto, and Val Demings has been in Congress, what they have done for you. My name is J Rodríguez. We'll be back. Next Tuesday is going to be the last show prior to the primaries. We're not having a show on the 18th because we're going to be celebrating victory.
That's right.
We're not going to be having a show. I love you very much. Lo quiero, lo amo. Nos vemos. Listen to me.